I've been playing Skyrim on and off ever since it was released way back in the winter of 2011. It's kept me gripped and entertained much better than any other game that I've ever owned. With that being said, a few of the quest lines were starting to lose their appeal, especially after my 5th playthrough. So when Dawnguard was released for the Xbox 360, I welcomed it with open arms. For 1,600 Microsoft points, which equates to around the £15 mark, the player gets a compelling questline and a few added perk trees and items to play around with. The quest is accessible from level 10 onwards by talking to one of the many guards of Skyrim, and the story focuses around two factions, the Dawnguard, a newly reformed cult of vampire hunters, and the vampires themselves, who are led by an extremely powerful vampire lord who goes by the name of Harkon. Harkon's goal is to blot out the sun, and breaking down Dawnguard into its simplest state means that you either choose to aid him or stop him, but as the Dovahkiin it is down to you to decide which path to choose. Dawnguard also does a great job of giving the player more knowledge of the land of Tamriel and its history. The ability to interact with Elder Scrolls and discover the origin of the Falmer, for example, was truly rewarding in itself, as I felt that I was learning more about the world that my character inhabits. The fact that there are also 2 quest lines, one for each faction, means that in some ways you're getting 2 games in one with Dawnguard. It will take you all over Skyrim, and some of the places you explore are exceptionally breathtaking. Areas such as the Soul Cairn are a nice addition and a nice change for the seasoned Skyrim adventurer. A variety of set pieces are also great fun. As you progress through the story arc, battles become much more intense and you'll find yourself fighting off both large groups of enemies and large enemies. One particular fight that I really enjoyed was a battle in which hordes of frozen Falmer and Ice Atronachs were attempting to destroy me while the ceiling was falling down all around me at the same time. It was intense and exhilarating. The addition of 2 perk trees, one for vampires and the other for werewolves, is a nice addition and adds value and weight to these forms, which was ultimately lacking in the original version. Gameplay hasn't changed much. The addition of crossbows is a nice touch, but it quickly loses its appeal. The biggest addition to gameplay is the inclusion of a vampire lord form. In this form, players can drain enemies' health, control characters' mind, and even turn into a cloud of bats and move around freely across the battlefield. The vampire lord form was definitely one of the best executed features of Dawnguard. There are times where Dawnguard falters, but these are more down to technical errors rather than artistic errors. The frame rate drops now and then, and there are a few times when I had to reload my game due to either being stuck in a certain position or loading screens just crashing. These errors of course are expected within a game and a world as large as Skyrim, but it doesn't mean they're any more welcome. For £15, Dawnguard is a reasonable purchase. This is definitely how downloadable content should be done. Players will get nearly 20 hours out of Dawnguard, that is 10 hours for each faction questline. The addition of extra weapons and perk trees also adds weight to an already heavy game add-on. If you're slowly falling tired of Skyrim, then Dawnguard is definitely for you, as it will remind you why you are still playing this game months after its release, and that is why X3 News is giving Dawnguard a 9 out of 10. For the full written review, head over to www.x3news.co.uk.